Hey Brickmaniacs, welcome back to yet another Wednesday video. Why? Because, well, Vault Week is here once again and we got to go over this this month's offerings. Remember,
that came around fast, man.
I know, it always does. It sneaks up on us.
Yeah.
It's like always right around the corner. But remember, it goes live tomorrow, first Thursday of the month, which coincidentally is the first of the month for July here. Remember, none of this applies to the current 10% sale that is going on right now on Brickmania.com. Vault items and pre-orders are not included in this. However, if you're saving on the other Brickmania things that you're picking up and you see one of these Vault items in here that you're like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted the Flacker Veiling 38. Always. Well, now you've got a chance to go pick that up in the Brickmania Vault. So let's dive right into it and take a look at some of these things that we have here. So obviously, digital instructions have dropped for the M113, including its variants. That means that the kits themselves are retired. So here we have a couple of them. This one is loaded up for what would have been the parts version of the ACAV crew pack.
Sure.
Just missing the minifigures itself. Remember, it does include what you see here, so you will not be receiving minifigures with this bad boy. But maybe you picked up the ACAV crew pack during the restock.
Maybe.
And now you've got the figures and not the M113, which I just realized is my situation. So you guys might have some competition. No, I'm totally kidding.
I like how bristling with guns the top of that thing is.
Did you guys know he was going to say it? Did you know?
If I said that every single time, I probably have said that
bristling with brick arms is
bristling with brick arms.
We should get you a shirt.
Well, it really is. Whatever.
It is.
You know
no,
what?
You're totally right.
I'm never going to talk again. Is that what you want?
I like this one because of how set it up is to like be crude visibly. Like you've got multiple spots here for at least 3 figures to be showing hanging out of this bad boy, and then maybe a third drinking a beer somewhere or something like that.
And that's totally that's how it was. It's they'd almost be more common on the outside of it, or just as common as riding on the outside of this thing as actually inside of it. Mm-hmm. From what I understand, it's not super heavily armored on the bottom as they'd like it to be. So sometimes you'd get guys just, I'm gonna ride on top and bail when we hit fire, or man the machine guns, fire back. And I love just how cobbled together a lot of this stuff was during Vietnam.
These are another good examples of some cool kits that Brick Designers has leaned into a little bit for some of the printed elements, etc. So that's been fun to see some of those markings. But this one is definitely, I think, this is very cool. I like the Vulcan. I like this play feature. Obviously, the 3D printing technology for the Vulcan barrel. This was kind of the first time we ever put an element out there like that featured that tapering.
Yeah, was this the debut of that Vulcan gun?
I believe so. Yes, it was.
Yeah,
indeed.
Thumbs up. It was.
And so this is a cool piece of Brickmania history in that regard. That being said, the look of this one I think is just very much cooler. That has nothing to do with the builds. It literally just has to do with the vehicle style itself.
No, I think I'd agree, but dang, it's just like that one. It's like obviously a piece of Brickmania history right there, but I don't know, a Vulcan cannon on top of they're both cool.
Yeah, really, you need them both too, I suppose, to complete your convoy. But remember all the play features these bad boys got, so they got some opening. What is going on back there?
Free pieces.
Yeah, apparently you get parts with this one. What the heck? Okay, whatever. So you can open these bad boys up, and there's cool stuff.
Sometimes these models have been on the display shelf for a while.
Yes.
And things, they take a beating over time, but
lean forward, you push the shovel.
We will try our best to get them into the correct configuration.
Exactly.
Dan has a look over all these before they go out. So
they look sharp. M113s, a couple of variants. They won't be bundled, they'll be individual. So if you want to get them both, make sure you're fast. All this stuff usually goes very, very quick out of the vault. Moving on, we have the Gaz AAA, I want to say is how you say it. I don't know, this model's a little before my time, but this is the base model along with the canvas add-on pack, which is kind of cool. Hey, you know what?
Is there something in the back?
What do you think? You think there's something back here? No,
nothing
this one's
in the
empty.
back.
Oh,
there's nothing in the back. That's not a surprise.
Yep.
But you know what? Look how cool that would be if there was stuff in there, which you can do now.
Russian soldiers.
Are you using nothing as a selling point?
No, not necessarily. I just had to look through them.
Empty space.
So I didn't know if there was going to be, open it up. And
contains empty space.
Crew of minifigures or whatever.
You know what?
That's
that's what it's meant for.
To contain empty space? No, it's made to transport stuff.
Yeah.
Put your own stuff in.
That's what I was intending to say, but then just didn't. So yeah, pick one up.
Cool little truck. Has been discontinued for a long time. So one that, Maybe you're looking to do a Barbarossa mock or something for 1941 for the mock contest that we currently have running right now, and you need something.
It's not a bad idea.
To drive some soldiers to help push back the German invasion. And Stalin's all quiet, and you're like, we saw this coming, how did you not? Never mind.
Where are you going with this?
Let's move on now. So this one I know will surprise some people, or maybe not, because you know that the instructions are already out. But wow, look at that. That look good.
That's menacing.
God, the Abrams is a sweet freaking tank.
I think there's a part missing on the front. That gap
Yeah,
is
right
not
here.
part of the kit. So just,
We'll fill that gap in.
We'll fix that. That's not part of the model, but there's a missing piece here. So don't worry, we'll get that fixed up. But menacing nonetheless, bristling with armaments. Look at those smoke dispensers, countermeasures. I love when the Abrams like has its turret turned. That back end is just overhanging so much. Just sort of kind of that iconic look of that. Flag on the back. There's a cooler on the back, I think, as well.
Abrams main battle tanks. So if you guys remember the first Desert Storm, these bad boys pretty much ripped the Iraqi armored division.
It wasn't really much of a,
to absolute shreds. I mean, they kicked ass all over Kuwait, which is pretty cool. You know, especially because that, debatably, depending on how you look at the evolution of warfare, that was kind of the last great tank battle, if you would call it a battle. It was more like the last time tanks were super relevant in being used, et cetera, because as we saw as urban warfare began to kind of progress, it's pretty tough to move one of these things around and have it protected against RPGs. You saw with the Tusk system, you know, they implied that literally just because they had to stop small combatants from being able to destroy these big expensive vehicles. Not only that, but main battle tanks in general, because of the cost associated with producing an adequate number to the point where you even, you know, can utilize your tanks, is pretty much only afforded to very wealthy countries, which obviously the United States would be one of. But at the same time, not something that you know, what is it, the T-14, I want to say, is the newest Russian tank, that huge thing. You know, who's to say that the U.S. will ever necessarily move on from the Abrams?
Yeah, just maybe keep upgrading it indefinitely, because even though there might be more formidable tanks on paper.
Right.
I mean,
we'll use the A-10.
well, you know, what does it matter if you have like a few of them, you know, that are of questionable functioning, you know?
Right.
So Abrams, I think, that might hold the title, you know, for maybe indefinitely. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a very cool model, and one that will go very quick.
Yeah, I definitely think of that kind of like '90s era Abrams when I'm thinking of the Abrams.
Well, in all the movies.
Yeah,
I mean, it pretty much went from the M60. The M60 one that we saw in every like Cold War military movie that featured the Americans like ever.
Yeah.
To the Abrams of, you know, these things have fought everything from terrorists to aliens. If you look at the movie Monsters, you know, they're like picking these things up and throwing them around and stuff. And so they're cool. They're fun to see. Don't throw your Brickmania one around, especially if it's a vault model. That's a bad idea.
Don't do that.
Before we get into the little kits,
a lot of little kits.
SB2C Helldiver. This bad boy actually comes with an additional set of stickers because it got stickered up and then still had some in its instructions.
Oh, nice.
So if you wanted to get yourself a pair of them, you absolutely can do that. On our blog, boy, it's probably buried at this point, but the youngest pilot before George H.W., after George? No. I think the youngest pilot in the history of United States aviation to receive their wings or to I don't know if it's be called an ace. Whatever. Read the article. But there's a good story on Brickmania's blog right now about the SB2C and some of the craziness that this plane was involved in, including one final flight, barely making it back to the carrier. But a very cool aircraft and one that for being nicknamed "son of a bitch second class," still held its own in World War II. So cool to see. And then I think this one as well, if you look really closely here, see if this goes out easily. Yeah, all right.
On. You just build it differently?
Yeah, so I believe that you can see there's a little like, I can't pull it out of there without taking this whole thing off. But basically there's a little stud here that you can move those machine guns out to so that you can set a minifigure in there and have them be your tail gunner. The instructions will let you know how to do it. So at the end of the day,
when they're flying to their destination, they probably would have that canopy closed, buttoned up, and then when they are under fire, they'd deploy those guns, I'd imagine.
Yeah, gotta protect the tail number, right?
Yeah.
Actually, that's another thing too. Is I really like the color scheme that this aircraft got.
That dark blue is really striking. So.
Navy planes, man, there's something special about them, especially dive bombers. You notice those printed dive flaps on the back are actually on red Lego elements. They look really, really sharp. So just a cool model in general, but ultimately one that was very large and took a lot of blue pieces, and so one that we
depleted the blue.
Kind of got out of our
that light blue contrast is nice as well. So here we can see the dive flaps coming around, and that head-on look is
those rockets.
You probably wouldn't want to see that, coming at you head-on. I'd imagine.
Exactly. If you're looking straight up and that's the view you just got, you're bye-bye. Okay, so let's move on. Let's just start loading up these mini kits, just tossing them on up here. Yes, the Kuba wagon is retired. I know there was at least one person on YouTube who was really crabby about that in the other video, but it has to happen, people. We got to make room for new ones and other things.
Did this work?
Some of this is due to part availability. Others of it is due to just needing updates, etc.
That's not bad for a first go, just throwing stuff up on there.
No, yeah, it looks really, really good.
This menacing look.
Schwinn wagon, Kuba wagon, LEFH, M3, the Napoleon gun, and the Flakkerverling 38. Nicely done, Dylan. That is everything right there for your mini kit selection in the vaults.
They're retiring this thing? Mm-hmm. What are you guys doing?
Me? You think I'm the one doing this? Come on, I'm just the guy who talks.
I like this. I actually have that set.
You have the Kuba wagon?
I do.
Good for you.
I do.
How about a Schwinn wagon?
I might. I actually might. No, I don't think I have a Schwinn wagon.
How about a Napoleon gun?
10, 20 of them easy.
Oh, nice. Well, actually, so coming out on Friday is the First Minnesota Volunteers at Gettysburg.
At Gettysburg.
Which is a Civil War minifigure. Obviously, the Napoleon gun, I think we actually initially created to combine with the release of our Confederate and Union sticker packs, so you can create some Civil War armies. So if you need something to position either your Juneteenth figure that you picked up a couple of weeks back, or the upcoming Gettysburg one to pick up here on Friday, get yourself a Napoleon gun and be locked and loaded and ready to go. So, anything else you want to say about the mini kits?
No, this is a nice little display here, actually. Like, just in and of itself.
Get one, get them all.
Get all of it. Whoever gets all of them, man.
If one person could clean out the vault even 1 week, I'd be so impressed, because this stuff moves quick. No minifigures this time around. I'm sorry about that. Our minifigure collection is kind of in limbo in the sense that we're not 100% sure what is retired and what isn't retired, and obviously we don't want to throw a minifigure in the vault and then have Landon be like, yo, what
are you doing?
What?
He's still cool.
So we have quite a selection of mini kits and these things for now. We will get minifigures back in there in the future. Just pumping the brakes on that a little bit moving forward. And then odds are, just a little heads up, next month, probably no vault as we prepare for our road trips. So this might be the last vault for the foreseeable future. So make sure to take advantage of that, because it'll be super awesome. Again, that launches 8 a.m. tomorrow morning on brickmania.com. We will send out an email, but most people jump right onto the site a little bit before 8, hover in that vault section so that they can make sure that they are first in line to grab the kit or
make sure you're logged in, information typed out.
Right.
Get that filled out.
Don't be the person who misses out on a minifigure or a vault item because you forgot to log into your Brickmania account. As long as you're always logged in, you'll have that streamlined checkout. Yeah.
As long as you're continually checking out with more items, you're fine. Just keep continually purchasing, even just 1 brick arms per minute will ensure.
Buy. Yeah, right.
You don't buy 1 brick arm per minute?
No, I don't buy 1 brick arm per minute. And somebody on the other end of this YouTube channel is just going like, wait a second, am I just watching advertisements for Brickmania
Buy
right now?
1 brick arm per minute.
No,
your life will be different than what it is currently.
There is entertainment value as well as marketing value in these awesomeness.
Yeah,
who doesn't want to just check this stuff out?
Like 1,000 brick arm collection would be not awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
to
the Brickmania Megadome, where the CCKW is going to jump. The Thunderdome. Bloop. Or the CCKW, or the CCKW, what am I saying? The Gaz,
what are you saying?
Oh, God.
Just like mid-air collision.
And then just cut the video right there.
He didn't cut the video.
So we're playing with the vault items before we put them in the vault, which definitely increases their value. Maybe. I don't know.
I touched this
Yeah,
one.
right. I totally bought the Kubelwagen that Landon poked.
What did you name it?
What did I name it? You name your Kubelwagen?
You don't?
I don't know. Maybe like Shaggin' But if you don't say it with the accent, it loses its effect.
I would not expect it.
Shaggin' Wagon.
I think that would be a fine thing to end on. If you don't, I don't know, whatever.
Call it quits right there.
We can call it quits.
All right, 8 a.m. tomorrow. The vault drops on Brickmania.com. Thank you very much for watching.
I'm out.